Welcome to Gentle Anchor, a podcast hosted by mom and son, Michele and Noah. No topic too tender. We talk with honesty, curiosity, and zero taboo.
What's up, guys? And welcome back to another episode of Gentle Anchor Podcast. I'm Michele.
And I'm Noah.
And we are so glad you're here today. We are going to talk about regret today. And a couple weeks ago, whenever, I don't even remember when it was that we did the episode on disappointment, but whenever that was, we said that we were going to talk about regret and we hadn't gotten around to it. So here it is. Do you remember when that was?
Because when I was home.
Yeah. So anyway, and we've both got our microphones all good to go so that we don't have that debacle going on, same as last week. So that'll be good. But I did notice, which was kind of cool, even though I can hear all the shenanigans going on in the background, in editing, it's not there. So that's nice.
Isn't that lovely?
It is. Good thing for editing. So anyway, I guess we're going into the drift check, huh?
I guess so.
Okay, drift check time it is. Noah, how's it going?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I just got done with the gym.
Okay, how's your week been?
Oh, horrible. It's
Really?
terrible. It's horrible.
Why?
Had to go back to school. Oh,
Yeah, right.
it's
Me too.
terrible. It was long. It was a lot. And I did not accomplish. Oh my gosh, look at that. Sorry, I dropped the weight. I dropped the weight on my finger. Now I'm like, it's swollen.
And you had textbook issues.
Oh my gosh. Amazon, I'm pissed at you. I hate the Amazon company, but I don't because
Yeah.
Daniel works for the Amazon company. But I'm
And
very frustrated because I ordered a textbook and then it's like, guess what? Refund. But then it still says it was on its way. So I was like, you know what? We're just going to trust the process. Then it said it was being delivered. After that, it never showed up.
Never
So
showed up.
then the textbook that I was supposed to be reading for the last week, I haven't been able to read. So then I had to re-buy it again. I was like, bro, I just spent $300 on this textbook. Wow. Apparently I got my refund like 2 weeks ago and I didn't realize that. So
Didn't realize it, which I think is so funny. But you did, you got it, so that's good.
yeah, it's online, which is like staring at a blank screen. I'm just like,
I know it's hard.
it's horrible. But no, I mean, here's the thing. It's like school's going well. It's tough. My classes are fine, I guess.
Yeah.
Long. Clinical's fine. I got some good news today, which is kind of the highlight of my weeks.
Yes.
So
we're very excited. Mommy's very excited about your good news.
yeah, some stress taken off. So
Yeah.
I have to do an immersive, which is like a 35 to 40 hours of clinical throughout the week. And it's with the same team for the entire season. And we can pretty much choose to go.
This entire semester, right?
No,
it's not this semester.
It's just for the like longevity of their season is like how is your immersive. But I'll get into it.
Okay.
They said that, so anyways, we have to do that, and you can pretty much go anywhere. You just have to have a contract bridge between like wherever you're at with.
Right.
And so I'm trying to go back home for the spring semester, not this year, so a year from now. I work with this softball team back at the college near us.
That I teach at.
That my mom teaches at, yes. And so that pretty much got approved today.
Yes.
Assuming that all things go well, obviously, like, I don't know 100%, but it sounds like we're going to start building that process. So.
Yeah. So you won't be here for the whole semester?
No, I should be. So I won't. They were saying that, like, I'll just kind of bounce around after that to, like, whatever sport needs help. So it's possible, like, track and field, especially, like, where I do have experience in that right now. Or I guess, I don't know, like, spring football.
Oh, nice.
So.
Cool.
I'm trying to think of like other spring sports that ISU has. I think that's it. I don't really know. So anyways, cool. That's my good news today.
Yay! I love it. It's nice. It'll be nice to have you back for a little bit.
Yes, I'll be back for a while. So how was your week?
I was in the same boat as you, going back to school. It was fine. I started my first in-person teaching job. Last semester I was doing completely online, and this one's in person. So it's a little daunting, like being in front of a class. And
are you in person the whole time?
Yeah.
Like for the 2 days?
Yeah. So Tuesday and Thursday. Yeah.
I thought it was one day was online, one day was in person.
I wish. No, I don't mind. But it's like this whole flipped classroom thing, which is a new concept to me. So I was like, which is nice because I don't have to lecture, which is great.
Classrooms are the worst.
So like we're doing, like discussion questions and case studies is basically what we're doing in class. And then like we'll be going over the study guides and things like that. So that's kind of how they wanted to do it. I kind of asked them what they wanted last week. And so, yeah. Anyway, it's good. And then this week we're going to be starting on actually finishing the basement, which is nice because that is going to set up for where I'm actually going to move to when we do podcasts because I'm going to have my own little room. So I'm excited about that.
Where?
In the middle bedroom in the basement. We're
Huh?
going to set up a little podcast area in the corner. I'm excited because this just feels very, I don't know. I don't love it. I don't love the blue background. I don't love this chair. It's just not very homey. It's fine. So, regret. Do you want to
Oh,
start this? What do you want me to do? You want me to ease into it? How do you ease into
I don't
it?
know. You just said
Regret.
regret.
Regret. No, I meant to look up the definition of regret, but I didn't. Noah, do you want to look that up real quick?
I can do that.
Yeah. So I'll just kind of give you a background on what regret means to me and kind of how it doesn't exist in my life and has always been something like that. That's how it's always been for me. So there's nothing in my life that I regret. And I've made some poor choices. I've done some dumb things. That's not to say that I don't acknowledge those because I do. But as far as regretting the choices that I've made or, any of that, I don't have that. And the reason for that is that I believe that every choice you make leads you to the moment you're at right now. So for me, everything that I've ever done in my past, good, bad, indifferent, doesn't really matter because it's led me to this moment. And if I had made one change anywhere across the way, I would be sitting in a different time. I would be sitting in a different place. Not a different time, but a different place.
Right.
So I just don't feel like regret has a place in my life. And that's kind of my background on it. What did you get for the definition?
Kind of a few things here. So, dictionary says that regret is a feeling of sadness, repentant, or disappointed over something that has happened or been done, especially a loss or missed opportunity. Regret is an emotion of wishing one had made a different decision in the past, and because of the consequences of the decision one did make were unfavorable. Regret is related to a perceived opportunity. So,
Yeah.
as I was kind of talking to you earlier,
Yeah.
and I looked up how regret is similar to guilt.
Okay.
And so it says that guilt is a moral or ethical violation or an action against your values, a feeling bad about a wrongdoing you were committed, often feeling you shouldn't have done it. While regret is wishing you had made a different choice,
Yeah.
which I have a hard time separating the two.
Okay.
Like as I read these definitions, like guilt, I mean, I get it. I understand what this is saying. So, regret is more that missed opportunity. Those poor decisions may or may not have bad outcomes, right?
Mhm.
Maybe I can say, oh, I regret that I didn't go and do that because I would have maybe had a different outcome. But as you've taught us growing up, right? If we say, I regret not doing that, would I be where I'm at now? Like, would I be sitting in this chair talking about this in this moment? You had asked me at the very beginning, do you want to make a podcast? If I
Mhm.
had said no, right, we wouldn't have done any of this.
Yeah.
Good or bad, I
Mhm.
don't really know. But those decisions that you make lead you to where you're going, right? So
Yeah.
you can't regret the decisions you make. You can feel, as this is talking, you can feel guilty about the decisions you make.
Yeah.
Morally, I don't agree with the decision I made. v- in my values or my ethical decisions, the way that view the world, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
I feel guilty because I made this choice.
Yeah. I think for me,
But I don't regret that I made this choice because it taught me something.
I don't have a place in my life for regret, so it's very hard for me to think of it like anything else. And part of the reason why I don't regret anything is because if I had made one slight choice different, then it's a possibility I wouldn't have you and Tabby. And I can't imagine a life like that.
Right.
Right? So as far as guilt is concerned, I do think it's more of a moral thing than regret
Hmm.
is. I think that's more along the morals that you have. You feel guilty because you might have said the wrong thing to somebody.
Right.
You don't regret that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could, but
Like the way that I handle those situations lead more to, oh, I feel guilty from, XYZ. But do I regret those things? I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like for those that do believe in regret and like use that term often, I think that it might be one of those things where it's like a larger decision rather than like those smaller. like, I feel like you have to it's something that you really have to, like, feel extremely badly about doing or
Yeah.
missing an opportunity, right? So,
Yes.
I think in my life, the biggest thing that I was scared about when it comes to regret was making my choice for my master's program, right? And so let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. Because I have a similar experience, so so you go with yours first.
I think the first time that I experienced, like, the concept of, "Am I gonna have a regret in my life?" was deciding whether or not I wanted to go to Penn State or I wanted to stay here for my master's program.
Yes.
I mean, we grew up, like, huge Penn State fans. It was always my lifelong goal that I was gonna go to Penn State no matter what it took.
Yep. Tabby too.
Tabby too, right? I never applied there for my undergrad. I didn't want to go there for my undergrad. I didn't think that it was going to be very beneficial for me. They didn't really have what I wanted. And so I just didn't apply. They had a wonderful athletic training program. I had applied to Penn State, had gotten an interview, and eventually got accepted. And I had already accepted my spot at MSU for the program here. I then had to make that decision whether or not I was gonna withdraw my spot from here and go there or decline them and stay here. And that was probably one of the toughest decisions I had to make because the what if game was so prominent.
It was.
It was a very, very tough decision in regard to professionally, what am I going to get out of staying here versus going there or going there versus staying here? Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it
Yeah.
because I mean they're a D1 school, Big Ten. They are a
Foot
power. I mean, not this year in football, but they have
right.
been
Usually.
like their sports are pretty big powerhouses. And so for me as a wannabe athletic trainer, I was all over that. I was like, this is what I need.
Yeah.
But I had so many things here in the life that I hadn't made for myself over the last 3 years that I wasn't willing to give up.
Yep.
And so I was afraid that by leaving the things here, I would regret that because I would then lose the people that meant the most to me. Or if I didn't go there, I would lose the opportunities. The what if I, can network better, I can get a better career out of it, I can gain better opportunities, all
Yeah.
the things. It was am I missing a big chance to
Yeah.
make something of myself?
And we had such big conversations about this.
And I don't regret not choosing that.
That's good. I'm
I
glad because I think it is because we have those conversations, and it is because regret is something that we have talked about since you were young. Like,
mhm,
we make choices, and whatever choices we make, we live with them. We don't regret
okay,
them, and we
right,
make them consciously. We make
mhm.
conscious decisions based on what we want the outcome to be. I think that you going into that decision, making that decision, you had laid out every outcome, and you
I
had
did.
talked through every possibility and every what if. And
You
so
yeah,
what? No,
I
go ahead.
was just saying, that scene in the Avengers Endgame where he's laying out every possibility of what's gonna
Yeah.
happen? That's how I
Yes,
felt. I was mapping it out. I'm, like,
exactly.
drawing the lines.
Yeah. And that's really important to point out because like you having that knowledge in, before making that decision of, okay, I'm not going to regret this decision. So I just have to make sure that I know what the outcome's going to be and why I'm making that choice. So,
And
and you
that's
did
not
it.
to say that it wasn't a tough decision. It was
No,
very,
it
very
was.
much a
It
tough
was.
decision. However, looking back now, sorry, I tapped my tail again.
It's okay.
Looking back on the last semester and a half, right, this summer. I mean, I'm already so much more knowledgeable than I was to begin with.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm a first year student. There's gonna be so many more things that I learn and understand, and the amount of reps I get, like I'll feel more confident in that. But that's with almost every profession, right, and every program.
Yes.
But the people that I have interacted with and my cohort and my professors and my preceptors, my athletes, the things that I have been given and learned and all the things, right? I don't take for granted at all because I am very, very grateful for those opportunities,
Yes.
and sure, I play the what if. I'm like, okay, what if I had gotten the opportunity to work with Penn State football, right? Like that was my dream, but dreams change,
And it's
so
okay.
and that's okay.
Yeah.
So I don't regret that because
No,
I don't
you
know,
can't.
maybe it wouldn't have been great, maybe I
No.
would have been missing all the things that I have now. And for me, I wasn't willing to risk losing what I have built and the things I have because,
Yeah.
these are my people, right? So it just
Yeah.
for me was much more of a important this, those were more important than the what if and the
Yep.
networking opportunities because I can get those down the road.
Exactly.
So,
And those are all the things we talked about. And I obviously have more experience behind me,
right.
um, and have made more decisions that or could be life altering or life changing, than you do.
What
But
you're saying you have more than 2?
so I think that I've made a lot of choices in my life that probably could have gone the other way. There's a lot of things that I could have done differently. There's a lot of things that I may have chosen differently, but I don't regret any of those choices. I don't regret leaving New York when I did, and that was a big one. I don't regret deciding to go to college when I did. I don't regret moving from Pennsylvania to Idaho, and I don't regret going back to college and taking forever to get my degree and my master's. And I certainly won't regret if I decide to never do my RD exam. I plan on it, but I won't regret it if I don't because it's not something that exists in my life. I just make choices based on how it's going to affect me and what I want. So I just feel like I understand that people have regret in their lives, right? But I think it's a matter of perspective.
Interesting.
Do you think so? What do you think?
And so you mean like perspective in response to like just I don't know, like your outlook on the whole situation? Like,
Yeah. Like, you know that you're going down a path, right? And you have a path that you want to go, not everybody, but people, typically you're going down a path. And if you make a choice, that
l-
choice is something that you made based on the perspective and the information that you had at the time, right? You don't have any foreshadowing.
let me interject you as devil
Okay.
advocate slash a
Yeah.
teenage son.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not a teenager, but I'm a 21-year-old now. But like
Yeah.
just, if mother son conversation asked, right?
Sure.
Hypothetically, we'll
Right.
just speak hypothetically. You're a good person. You're a good kid. You're going down this path that it's laid out for you. You're building the life that you want. Okay,
Yeah.
setting the scene,
Yeah.
right? And then you make a mistake or you do something that you didn't see yourself doing, right? I don't even know, just something random, right? From the mom's perspective, as you saying that you don't believe in regret, how would you, like, what advice would you give to somebody that goes, I'm feeling like I regret this, but I don't know. Like, I made this mistake. I feel badly about it. Like,
I should have chose differently.
I should have chose different because now I don't want it to have a major impact on the next step.
Right. So,
'Cause I
yeah.
feel like that's something that, like, that's real, right?
Yeah,
Like, those are things that
for
I
sure.
feel that people experience is, I don't want this decision that I just made because I know it wasn't the best decision and I messed up. I don't want
Yeah.
this to have a future impact on me.
Impact.
Like, how do I
Yeah.
let this go, right? Like, how do I move past this and not carry this weight with me?
Right. So I think that what you're definitely talking about is a real thing, but I think that from my perspective, if that's something that happened with you, and of course we have all those conversations,
Right,
my conversation with you is going to be what would make you think that the choice that you made is wrong?
right,
Why is that wrong?
yeah,
If you made that choice consciously, you decided that this is the way that you wanted to go, you made that decision knowing that the outcome was not exactly what you had planned, but you made
right,
that decision anyway. So how can you regret that if you've already made that decision? You
right,
consciously made it. I think that like there's a difference between consciously and unconsciously making decisions, like, but those are spontaneous.
right,
Spontaneous decisions are not the ones that usually lead us to, I mean, they can, I suppose, make it lead us to regret. But what in this instance, what you're talking about is that choice that you made was conscious. It was a conscious decision to choose something other than what you are typically talking about. That to me is how I would kind of start that conversation. A spontaneous decision, if you make a spontaneous decision and you regret that, that's a different story because it's spontaneous. It's like I slept with this guy and I didn't mean to, right? I didn't
yeah,
want to, but I did it because it was a spontaneous decision that I made in the moment, whatever, like, but you still made the decision.
yeah,
You had the option to say no. You had
right,
the option to not do it. So if you're making that decision and maybe you were under the influence of, alcohol or something like that, you still had the conscious decision to choice to make that decision.
Right, because the decisions that you made to begin with led you to that event.
Yep.
Right. So, by doing XYZ, now you end up in a situation, oh, I shouldn't have done this, which led to that. And it's okay. If that's the outcome, you have to be willing to live with the choices you made and understand those and accept them for what is. Okay, and
Yes.
then comes into the I recognize I messed up. How do I prevent this from happening again?
How do I you learn from your mistakes? How do I prevent this from happening again? I don't put myself in those situations.
Right.
I recognize that I'm a poor decision maker when I drink alcohol, so maybe I don't drink as much, or you
Yeah.
alter the way that you look so the outcome doesn't become something that can be, duplicated,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
And that's just my take on it. That's just how I feel about it. That's how I've lived my life.
That's
It's
how you've
how
raised us too.
and that's exactly what I was gonna say next is exactly how I've raised you guys. You can't be upset about the choices that you make when they're conscious decisions, spontaneous or not, but you made that decision. And
Right.
you can't regret those decisions because they lead you to all the things. If I had chosen differently at any point, I honestly, truly believe that if I had made one choice differently, I would not be sitting here today. Tabby doesn't think it's that extreme.
But
Tabby
you never
doesn't think,
know.
right. So yeah,
Like, if you had never decided to move across country, like that big, like what one of the biggest decisions in your life, And we also talk about like, I mean, I don't know how personal we want to get, but like we talk about like with your daddy's passing, right?
yeah,
Like obviously that's all a terrible event. Like loss is horrible, and we can't change that.
yep,
But we talk about if he, you always said to me at least, if he was still alive, you don't think that you would have ever left New York.
100%.
And again, that doesn't have anything to do with regret per se, but like
Changes the
the
alter
the life events that occur in your life and the decisions that come based off of life events,
Yep,
that's how I think regret plays into decision making.
yep. My daddy died when I was 19. I honestly and truly feel like I would not be the person that I am today if he was alive. I was a daddy's girl. I was a spoiled fucking brat. Not even I was a
I
spoiled
mean,
brat.
I know.
Yeah. I was a spoiled brat. I was the light of his world. Like that was me. And he was my stepdad and he raised me since I was, 3 years old. But I never thought of him as anything other than that. And I honestly and truly can tell you that if I had stayed in New York, my life would not be what it is today. I and I would never have left. And so one of the biggest blessings I always say in my life is my daddy's passing because it led me
Really,
to this life that I have now.
that's an interesting take that I think some would say otherwise.
I know, but it's true for me. It really is. I think the Lord knows what he's doing. I think he knows what we need when we need it. And I think he knew that had to live my life and I wouldn't have done that if my dad was alive. Anyway,
Well,
that
what
is,
a tragic way to like live your life though.
I know.
Or like to learn
Um,
that you need to live your life.
Yeah, but I'm grateful for it, 100%. And so I think that actually that you bring up that episode in my life, that time in
Oh,
my life, I think that actually shaped my decisions and my choices about regret. Because
really?
I do because I know in the instant that my dad passed away and that my life was going to be mine, I was consciously going to make decisions that were going to affect me, right? I never thought outside of that when my dad was alive.
Mm.
I never did. I just was in my little perfect bubble with my dad, right? And I just thought I'd be daddy's girl forever. And so with him passing away, I had this whole new perspective of life of saying, okay, every choice that I'm making now is for me based on the outcomes, and my choices are going to bring me to certain places based on the outcomes of those choices.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense. That's kind of how I feel with like deciding to move away. Like, I don't think that I would be like I've talked about it the other time. Is I don't think that I'd be the person that I am had I stayed home.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that I'd be like half as successful. Like, because I don't know. Like, I kind of felt like restricted a little bit, like a little bit held back.
Yeah.
And so, like, just like needing to kind of make my own mark on the world, like having, that, like, I think that if I actually did believe in regret, I think that I would have regretted not leaving,
Yes, exactly.
you know?
Yeah. Let's take a break from this and get into our segment called "What's Your Take?" We think we need something cute to like introduce that. I'm gonna have to come up with something to like, how I like introduce that. Anyway, that's my dorky thing. So we're gonna get into our "What's Your Take?" and then we will wrap up regret and talk about kind of some other closing remarks on that and stuff. But do you want to start your "What's Your Take" or do you want me to go first?
Hold on, give me a second. Okay, I had to make sure I had it. You go first.
Okay, I have two, so I'm gonna ask you two.
Okay, I only have one today, so.
That's okay. What's your take on people that don't know how to zipper merge?
Okay. My Idaho friends, listen to me carefully. You have two lanes. You have a lane that's closing. You don't have to get into the left lane 14 miles back,
That's
right?
right.
Let's use both lanes, but one.
Zipper merge.
Figure it out, okay?
It's called zipper
Minnesota,
merge.
it's called zipper merging. It's not hard.
No,
People in Minnesota understand.
they do. Ah, nice. Yes.
I don't know, guys. What's my take? It pisses me off. That's my take.
Yeah. Yes, I know.
No, their zipper merging is great. It pisses me off when people don't zipper
Don't know
merge.
how to do it. I
And
know.
like, I'm fine with you, you getting over like, a mile and a half, 2 miles, but we don't need to all be congested in one lane.
I don't even like that.
I know, but it's
I
also
grew
really
up,
frustrating because
yeah,
people will not let you in. So it's like,
I know. I obviously grew up in New York and like zipper merging is like
the only
the
way to
way to do
merge.
it. It's the way to it actually is the proper way to do it.
And it's the
But
safest.
yeah, it's the safest. When I was doing a little bit of research on this question, I asked ChatGPT about like why people don't understand zipper merging, and it said that it's not that people don't understand it; it's just that some people find it as rude, right? Because they
I
weren't
can
taught.
understand that.
Because they weren't taught any other way. They weren't actually taught the correct way to merge as being zipper merging. So people that don't know how to zipper merge, I I can understand that you don't. It's not your fault, and you get upset when somebody's trying to cut into line. But zipper merging is actually the right way to do it. Anyway, there's one, and I know this one's gonna throw you through. Okay, the second one that I
If you
have.
guys can't tell, I'm a very opinionated person. So
Yeah. Well, I
these are
was
all just
very.
these are all just my opinions. Don't be mad.
I was very opinionated last week, so. And by the way, Mommy called HS4 at midnight. Hello. Harry's new single is coming out on Friday, midnight UK time. So fucking excited.
So technically, it's actually Thursday, but
No, UK time it'll be midnight. For us it'll be same time. Like so
oh,
it'll be 5 o'clock here. Yeah, on the 23rd. I'm so excited. It's gonna be. I think it's called Aperture. I can't fucking wait. I can't fucking wait. Anyway,
don't worry. I've been getting all the texts about it.
tour comes out, dude. We are gonna be having yes. Anyway, what is your take? What is your take on people who don't say thank you when you hold the door open for them? This happened at the casino. Did it happen at the casino when we went? Yeah. Anyway,
Mhm.
go ahead, Noah.
I like to think of myself as a fairly nice person.
You're very gentlemanly.
I don't know, my girlfriend kind of gets frustrated at me sometimes because I'll hold the door for one person and then I'll find myself, even if they're like 15, 20 feet away, just still holding the door for them. And
Yeah.
it kind of is a problem. I do know this. One time we were going to a hockey game and she lost me because I was holding the door for
Hold the
30
door.
people.
Yeah.
So, and they weren't even close to each other. They weren't even close to each other. It is not hard to briefly say thank you. It is I could slam that door in your face if you want me to. I will. It's not hard.
To
It,
say
it's a
thank you.
it's a quick little thank you or like
Yes.
appreciate it. It's not
Yeah.
hard. Or even just give me a nod.
Yep.
Like acknowledge that I'm doing something nice for you, or not me, but people acknowledge that people are taking time to help you. And it's the simplest act. I get it. It's just hey, like I'm just holding the door so you don't have to bother with it. It's
Mhm.
simple, but
Right.
it is not hard to say thank you.
What did I teach you?
To say, "Have the day you deserve," and slam in their face? I
No,
don't
I
know.
taught you to say you're welcome.
And here's the thing, is that I'm so nice that I can't bother doing that. Like,
I
I
always
say "You're welcome" in my head, but I can't, I'm like,
I've done it. I've been like, "You're welcome." People are like, "Thanks." I've
I
walked
know.
into a McDonald's. There was one time I walked into a McDonald's, we were door dashing, and I walked into a McDonald's and there was these girls behind me, and I held the door for them, and they walked in, and I was like, "You're welcome." And they were like, "Thank you." Huh, huh. And they were young girls, and I was just like, and then they like went off like talking about it, and I was like, "I don't give a fuck. Like, have some fucking manners. Have some fucking manners." I was so mad.
It bothers me so much.
I know.
It's just a
So
simple "Thank you,"
it
like,
is.
or even "Thanks, appreciate it." I
Thanks.
don't know.
What's up? Yeah. Okay. Those are mine. Your turn.
Okay, quick question for you. How many jobs did you work where you are helping people or you are working with, like, a customer?
I mean, you want me to count that?
I I'll just give me a ballpark.
All of them?
All of them. This is why this question is perfect for you.
Okay.
What is your take on the customer is always right?
You know, I I think that that is a very abstract statement.
In what
Okay.
way?
It's a blanket statement. It's a blanket statement for the fact that we appreciate our customers, right? As a person in industry, whatever that industry is, you appreciate your customers 100%, right? That's not to say that they're always right because nobody is perfect. And sometimes they make mistakes in how they remember something or what they said
Uh-huh.
got or didn't. Like in your case, for you, you work at a hoagie place, restaurant. And so, like, maybe they asked for what?
Hoagie place.
A
It's
hoagie
just
restaurant?
a sandwich joint.
A sandwich shop? Okay.
Well, since when did
I
you ever
call
call it a hoagie?
I call them heroes, and so I didn't know.
Jimmy John's is not a hero.
Okay, well, Jimmy John's. Anyway, you work for Jimmy John's, and you're in the position where maybe your customer said they wanted mayo but didn't get mayo, but
Yeah,
they
that's
were
easy.
wrong. Like they
Yeah,
didn't say it. They honestly and
yeah.
truly didn't say it, right? So you made the
Oh,
sandwich
I mean,
based on
that happens all the time.
that's what I'm saying. So I mean, it happens, right? So yeah, I just think that's a blanket bullshit statement. It's a
Yeah.
blanket bullshit statement because people are wrong.
The problem is though, in fast food, you have to abide by it.
Oh,
You know,
wait.
like because you want the customers coming back, you want the customer
Yeah.
satisfaction, you want good reviews, right?
Yeah,
So
but you lose one customer, it's a big fucking deal. What?
you make a mistake, right?
I
It's
know.
okay. How can I fix this? And it's our manager gets mad at us if we're not perfect in the way that we respond to that. If you're not with the most like generosity, like the
I
appreciative
know. What
understanding,
can I
like
do to fix this for you?
yeah, like
Mentality. I know. Yeah. Anyway, that's my take on that.
that's our what's your take, sir?
Close it out. Close
Let's
it out.
close. So
So, all in all, I think my question for you about regret is how do you feel like not the option of not having regret for the choices that you make, because I believe that you don't, how does that help you? Like, I guess it's kind of two parts. Like, how does that help you to handle things that are difficult? And how does it help you as you move through life now?
so in other words, how do I feel confident in the choices that I'm making and not
Not
like
Yeah, that like, you're not gonna regret the choices that you make because
right
you weren't ever taught to do that.
to believe in that?
So,
Yeah.
yeah, so how does that help you when you're making difficult decisions? And we kinda did touch on this, with your school decisions and stuff like
Yeah.
that, but, like, just talk us through how that helps you make those decisions.
I can't be wrong. There is I play the what if game. As I said earlier, I play
Yeah,
I outweigh my pros and my cons. I still do all the normal things in making decisions and I talk to the people that I trust most about them.
yeah,
Right. So for me, it's kind of that verb. Like I typically make choices in my mind before I really talk about things
yes,
unless I have no idea what the answer is, right?
yeah,
But I'm typically leaning one way or another when I have a tough decision to make. And so then I present that with to other people that I trust the most. And that kind of just gives me an outlook on, the things that I missed or why the decisions that I want to pick is right for me.
yeah,
Right. So having those positive, as we talk about our gentle anchor, right? Or just that person that you trust enough to go to with those decisions helps me feel that I won't be wrong for that,
yeah,
or I'm not crazy for wanting to do something,
good.
right? And it leaves me a little bit more it kind of in making decisions gets rid of that anxiety of, "I don't know what to do here," right? Because, like,
There's no wrong decision.
there's no wrong decision, especially we'll kinda go back to that Penn State MSU. There wasn't a wrong decision, right? Like, it was a tough choice, but each had so many benefits. So
Yeah,
then it just stems to it for me, which is worse for me in other factors, right? So I think that it just kind of takes away the anxiety of like not feeling that I'm going to regret a decision I make is knowing that I can't mess up. It's just which one works better for me, with my
At
immersive,
this time.
yeah, like, what's the most feasible? What's the most
Yeah.
realistic? Like, and I am a very realistic and logical person, and my girlfriend sometimes doesn't like that about me. She's
I
told me
know.
that sometimes it pisses her off because she's like, "I don't want you to be logical. I want you to follow your heart a little bit here." And
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, I told you the other day that I was kinda thinking that I'm gonna have to avoid doing something that I've been dreaming about for so long because of, logistics or feasibility concepts, and
And I said,
you told me that I don't have a choice, like, and those things come, we follow our dreams first, right? So,
yeah.
it's reshaping your mindset to knowing, if I don't make the wrong decision here, I'm making the best decision for myself. It's not a wrong choice, it's the best choice.
And you can't regret the best choice.
No, and even if it's not the best choice, at one
At that
point in your
time when you
life,
think it is.
you think that it is. So
Yes.
how do you regret something that you think at one point in your life was the best decision for you,
Yeah.
right? So, like, just
Even
knowing
if the
all those,
outcome doesn't even if the
even if it doesn't
outcome.
work out,
Yep, because
you
at that
still
time, you still
thought
made the
that it was
conscious
right.
decision.
So
Yeah.
it's just one of those things where
So,
it's like, how do you
I'm
mess
glad.
that up?
Yeah. I'm glad to know that the conversations that we have, I mean, and I do get reinforcement from that in like these episodes, which is really good. But I'm
Mm.
glad to know that the conversations that we've had and the way that I've raised you actually pans out to the way that I hope it'll be.
I mean, yeah, like, I make dumb decisions. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
deny it. I make decisions that I'm like, "That was stupid," or like, "Why did I just say that?" But I don't regret that. It isn't
No.
those things aren't gonna change the entire trajectory of my life, and if they do, they do.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still I don't know, I'm still building the life I want. I'm with
Yeah.
the people I wanna be with. I'm doing the thing I wanna do. I'm
Yep.
where I need to be to do those things.
Yep.
In my early 20s, what else do I need,
Yeah.
right?
So
Like,
one
what
exactly. One of the things that, like when we do these episodes, we kind of have an outline of things that we follow, right? So if you ever see us looking off to the side, it's because we have our little script that we want to follow. Just make sure we talking points.
It's more, yeah, it's just talking points. I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't really follow it.
Yeah. I mean, we look at it. So like but one of the things that the reason why I'm bringing that up is because one of the talking points on here, number 4, says, what exists instead of regret? And I think that this is a very interesting question to pose
I
because
don't get it.
so if you don't regret something, what does that mean? Like you just said though, you hit on it very well. You said, I don't regret something, I know that I didn't do something wrong. So there's no learning without self-punishment, right? So instead of regret, you're going to
Yeah,
learn something, but you're not going to feel badly about it.
but I think that that's just guilt
No, because like it's a
because,
different
like, if I
thought.
see, that doesn't make sense to me. That's where I get guilt like,
Okay.
regret
So
confused, like,
for example, for
because
you making
I
the
self-punish all the time, though.
yeah, but in not in a regretful
Not in
kind
a
of way.
regretful concept, but, like,
Right.
again, I make decisions and I'm like,
Yeah. So I think it's interesting what exists instead of regret. I think it's just mindset. I think it's perspective. I think that it's the path that we're on. I just think that that's definitely like for me, as I think about that question, what exists instead of regret, perspective. It's a simple
"Sure."
answer. Yeah. And that's that. So I don't have any regrets in my life. I'm 52 years old and I'm grateful for the fact that I've made choices that have led me right to this moment to be here with my favorite boy.
On the podcast.
On the podcast. Anyway,
I was just gonna say, like, essentially along the lines of, we do this for fun, right? Like, it's not like, we don't really care about the, like, making things big or, like,
kudos. Yeah.
like, we're not trying to be this big, well-known, like, crazy cool podcast that has 94,000 listeners. Like, that's just not, I don't know. It's just that, it's not anything that we're trying for. And so, like, if you don't have anything nice to say, like, we appreciate it. Like, we appreciate all the good comments we get and stuff like
And
that.
we
But it's
get so
just,
many of those.
and we get like the good things, and we like really appreciate you guys that do. But if you don't have anything nice to say, just some things just don't need to be said. I just kind of wanted to get on here and kind of say, like, we appreciate the people that do listen for the point of wanting to listen to it. But
Yep.
if you're just kind of on social media and don't like what you're seeing, just scroll past it. It's
If you're
fine.
we're
Like
not for your everybody, and we don't have to be.
that's not. I mean, I'm not. So
Yeah.
we would appreciate it if some people just keep moving.
Roll on by.
So I just kind of, I don't know, felt
Yeah.
that I needed to get that out there.
Yeah.
No, we appreciate you guys that really do
We
listen
love
and
our
take time.
listeners. We
So
love our drift mates.
yes, so I don't know.
Um,
Maybe I didn't need to say that. Maybe I did, but I just something
Appreciate
that
it.
was on my mind. So
That's right. We did forget socials again, so do you wanna do that?
Spotify, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube,
YouTube.
and Apple Podcasts.
Yeah.
All Gentle Anchor. I think there was one of them was like Gentle dot Anchor
I think that
dot podcast. I think that's YouTube.
I think it's one of them.
So,
It might be
anyways,
TikTok.
maybe free to listen to, like and
Yeah.
subscribe.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys.
Comment. Please comment. We like comments. Nice comments. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. Noah, take us out.
All right. Yes, my mom is my gentle anchor, but yours can be someone who makes you feel safe and understood. Could be a friend, sibling, or a mentor. Mentor? Not
A
mentor.
mentor.
Mentor. Whatever matters.
What matters?
Wow, I don't know this. What matters is having someone in your life that you can be open and honest with. So next time you feel the urge to share your voice, start with the person who truly hears you.
Yes. And we appreciate you with we appreciate you
With some
listening.
rage.
We appreciate you listening. Every voice needs a safe harbor. Until next time, stay anchored in connection. Thanks, guys.